We have the latest revelation from the lockdown files. Steve Brine MP, who was the chairman of the Health Select Committee during the lockdown, managed to lobby the NHS and the government for a company that he was technically working for during the lockdown. This whole saga with MPs having second jobs is getting completely out of hand because it's not really about any second job, because that's a whole different conversation we could have as society. But it's about actual conflict of interest and actual connections to certain companies that you might be able to have access to government, and you could lobby. For example, in the case of Steve Brine, he was the chairman of the Health Select Committee. He lobbied the NHS boss on behalf of a firm that paid him £1,600 a month. This is just like pocket money on top of everything else that he makes as a human. Obviously, he's got his MP salaries, he's got the expenses, he's got the freebies and cheap food and drinks in Parliament. And they also have all these different type of pocket money side jobs, side hustles. And this is one of them. These sort of things that is coming out of the leaked WhatsApp messages are the important ones. Obviously, there's been a lot of other stories. We've been talking about this on this channel on a daily basis. Don't forget, we've created a dedicated playlist on the channel called Lockdown Files. We put all the relevant videos on this issue all together if you want to all watch them together, if you haven't had time to catch up with all of them every day. There's been so many. And it's quite interesting how, by the way, how we and this channel are... I've been checking. We are the only channel in the whole country, the only media channel, new media or mainstream, that actually has a dedicated segment for the lockdown files. So the Telegraph, as a newspaper, they're releasing these files, but we are the only ones who are actually doing something about it. Anyway, let's go to this issue because the headline of the text messages. Long story short, I have been trying for months to help the NHS through a company I am connected with. Let's go to these WhatsApp messages that we have. Matt Hancock and Michael Gove having a chat in this group chat. Michael Gove copy and pasted a message from Steve Brine saying, "Dear Michael, sorry to raise this, but having tried the Department of Health, seemed logical, the chief executive of the NHSE, and I'm at loss. Long story short, I've been trying for months to help the NHS through a company I'm connected with called Remedium. And they have 50 anesthetists right now who can be in the country and on the ground in the NHS if someone only said, let us help. They just want to assist and asked me how they could do this. And obviously he said, I've offered this to Simon Stevens, but I've not really heard anything back. So let's try and sort this out." And then obviously Michael Gove sent this to Matt Hancock. Hancock said, "Weird. He hasn't actually texted me. This is already in hand. Thanks for pinging on." And Michael Gove said, "Thank you. Oh, so nice." And then obviously Hancock came and said, send this message, copy and pasted again, same message from Steve Brine saying, "Did he come to you?" He asked Alan Nixon, the special advisor. Alan Nixon, the advisor, said, yeah. And I've got the extra detail we needed and the team were sorting it. I told him the team was sorting it and he hasn't come back to me about it since. So they actually replied to him. He forgot about it himself. Steve's been a knob right now, according to Alan Nixon. And I have no idea why. I've been chasing my tail, trying to sort loads of stuff for him, not at least his hospital. And he still acts like this. Oh, so boring. Matt Hancock said, "I have messaged him since he didn't even ask me. It's a bit weird." Oh my God, there's just a bunch of like school teenagers. So emotional. Alan said, "Just on this, obviously, there's an issue with having a contact in this company. They've been trying to sort this out." And he basically said, do you want to go back to Steve to update him, or shall I?" Oh my God, so embarrassing. And then he also said, Steve Brine mentioned the Remedium issue. Someone we don't know, they basically redacted the name, has told me that she chased the NHSE all day on this, and they are sending chasers to the company, and which they have introduced to fix this. But NHSE haven't managed to confirm that it's definitely fixed. Wow. I'm not really sure who comes across bad in this whole story. Obviously, Steve Bryan, not just because he's been annoying to the government. Ooh, I don't think it should be his job to lobby for a company that he's getting paid for, and he's supposed to be the chairman of the Health Select Committee. So the job of the Health Select Committee is to properly hold Matt Hancock and the Department of Health to account, rather than work with them. Now, that's one thing, but the lobbying issue is the most problematic in this saga. And put aside obviously the emotional, the childish conversations between Matt Hancock and the special advisors saying, "Oh, well, he didn't come to me. I've been messaging him." This is just childish behavior. I don't have time for that. But this is the moral of the story. Corruption happens on a daily basis, and until someone leaks some messages, we don't know about them. Let me know what you think of this particular update. We're going to come back in half an hour. We're going to tell you about how the European Union are now also having a bit of a emotional moment, when it comes to Suella Braverman's new migration bill. They're not happy. I'm Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.